All right, let's come back to studio and remember that I'm talking to Dismas Mukua. He is a political risk analyst. I also have Alfayo Agufana, who is the new Gender Party chair, joining us from the City Center studio, and he's also chiming in into this conversation here on the show. All right, so let's continue with our conversation and talk about Amani National Congress. You said that not too much attention is being given to ANC, but the question is really, how well, what can I say, situated or located are their members or aspirants? Should we just wait till they start doing the primaries in their stronghold, and then now we can give them a lot of attention?
You remember when you're in journalism, you're told when a dog bites a man, there's nothing happening.
Yeah.
But I guess the reason why these other political parties are getting a lot of coverage is because of the violence. Like, for instance, when...
is it really about the violence,
about
or
violence,
just about the party, how big they are, how strong they are?
No, if everything went on smooth, then probably there would be nothing to report. I mean, you'll say it was a peaceful election, peaceful primary, people are very happy. But again, as you say, it's because a man has not gone to their party, rather where they are very strong.
Yeah.
But I understand they've already done Bigori, they're doing Nyamira today, they're doing Kisi today. So it's actually very strange that a number of your reporters are in Kisi and Nyamira, but they cannot see anything around the Amani National Congress
It's
to be
peaceful,
covered.
maybe.
It's peaceful. Maybe if there is a gunshot, then at some stage it's going to be covered. But I
Let's
think
hope not, yeah.
Yeah, but I think going back to really the primaries, and when you look at Jubilee, you're impressed because Raphael Tuju said that at the end of the day tomorrow, nobody's going to be allowed to be campaigning. That the campaign comes to an end. Then on Thursday, people just prepare accreditation. Then on Friday, you go to the polls.
Is that really,
and by 5 o'clock,
is that really, something to write home about, or is it just politics and good PR for the country?
For me, I think it's something to write home about, and maybe the president needs a pat on the back. Because you see right now this morning in Nyamira, you can still see the Nyagarama and Gesami's officials running around, still doing campaigning in the morning. And you also recall during our national elections, the general election, there's a provision in law that you cannot do campaigns on the last day. You're supposed to give people, because you've been bombarding people with a lot of information, give them at least the last day for them to digest, to understand what you've been talking about, and then they go cast their ballots. But bet what has been missing in these party primaries is intellectual leadership. I've not seen anybody from Jubilee, I've not seen anybody from ODM or Amani National Congress, WIPA, discussing policy issues. There are all the guys who are running for MCA and other positions. They're telling people that vote for me when I become an MC in Italeta Mandeleo, but they're not telling us what they're actually going to offer. I had the misfortune of watching the current governor for Laikipia, a fellow called Joshua Irungu. And he paid for airtime for 1 hour. And when he spoke, it confirmed my worst fears that in Kenya, we've got a deficit in serious leadership. Because he's been governor for the last 4 years, and he's still running the county on a future tense, telling people, I'll be doing this, I'll be doing this, I'll be doing this.
Yeah.
He's not told us what he has done for the last 4 years. And on that score, even you bring Jubilee into task. Right now they're telling us, give us another 5 years. But for the last 4 years, they haven't told us actually what they've done.
They've put it on the portal.
Which portal is that?
This the portal that the president launched the other day.
Well, I mean, there are many examples. People who visited that portal, they're very surprised, and others are shocked, and others are very disappointed.
That?
I saw Donald Kipkorir sent out a tweet message saying that somebody talks about a road in his part of the world, and if you do the mathematics, it comes to 200 million per kilometer of doing a tarmac road. That alone raises issues of corruption.
Okay.
Because on average, a road in Kenya is supposed to be 100 million. In Kenya, a normal road. While in Ethiopia, it's 50% of that. In Ghana, it's 25% of that. So in Kenya, you already have an inflation of 50%. And then when you go to the portal, you're told, wait a minute, it's now 200 million. And the topography in Kenya is not as complicated as in Ethiopia. So there's so many questions. But again, when you go to Thika Road, I'm told by guys who've gone to the moon that you can actually see Thika Road from the moon. So if there are any development issues in Kenya, you don't need to go to the portal to see them. You're supposed to experience them. And when you talk about kitchen economics or kitchen table economics, for a lady in Kangemi right now, she's interested in the cost of living. She's wondering, it's about lunchtime, what am I going to serve my kids? And it's only in Kenya where now having a chapati is cheaper than having ugali.
Yeah.
Majority of homesteads in Kenya cannot afford ugali. So if you're running a very successful government, then we'd expect you'd work on two things. make the cost of living affordable, that having, 50 years after independence, having 3 square meals in Kenya should not be a national challenge, that most families cannot afford 3 square meals. Let people even have 10 meals so that we are working on, lifestyle issues. We should be working on obesity, telling people to go to the gym, but not people running around on empty stomachs.
Okay.
That's something that maybe a successful government is supposed to be doing.
Okay.
Or increasing disposable incomes, so that even if the packet of unga is 500,000, when I go to the supermarket, it's not a challenge. Most people, I don't know whether you are alive to this, but most people spend a lot of time in the supermarket, not because they want to buy a lot of things,
They're trying to
but if there's a
balance
product,
everything.
they're looking, this one goes for 190, this one is 195.
Okay.
So they're trying to look at the balance.
Okay.
The price
Okay,
structure.
Dismas, interesting. All right, so let me bring in Bernard Wakoli. He is a youth leader in Ford, Kenya. Thank you, Bernard, for joining us. I'd like to hear your thoughts on what kind of primaries are we having? Like Dismas is asking, are they issue-based or are they to do with the party leader and who these party leaders want to represent them in the different positions countrywide?
Thank you, Betty, for having us on studio. I think what we are having currently, what we are experiencing across the country in terms of party nominations is in some areas we have like predetermined members or predetermined candidates whom the parties want to win the nominations. And in some areas you realize that the exercise is free or moving on well. There are 2 scenarios here. One is that in some of these cases where we have hotly contested positions, you realize that the party maybe could be having their favorites. And in some areas where there is no, in areas where the party is not that popular or very dominant, then the exercise is left to move on. So we have interests at play, and I have these cases in mind where, there are people who have been investing in these political parties from the time, the last election was held till now. And, it sometimes puts a party in a very awkward state where they are looking at an individual that, this person has been maybe financing party offices. This person has been, supporting these and these activities within the political party. Then you get somebody comes from nowhere, few days to elections. Then this person wants the party ticket. Then the party leadership is like, we are not sure about this person,
Okay.
And maybe in some cases the person might be wanting that ticket, and at the end, is party loyalty also comes in. How long would this person be in that political party after after the nominations?
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, thank you, Bernard. We'll be coming back and hear what Dismas and Alfayo have to say about this. If indeed it's issue-based, or do you have political favorites? We'll be getting back here, but let's now link up with Elvis Koskei. We had tried to get him earlier on. I understand that now he's okay. Elvis, thank you so much.